Yes, people. Welcome back to GNA TV. It's the fifth Chelsea Lady Show, and we've got so much to talk about. So let's delve into it. I'm your host, Jem. Let's cue the intro.
I don't know how I'm here, and it's you that I want to need. Feel your heartbeat. Feel somewhere you're looking good. Feel your heartbeat. Feel somewhere you're looking good.
Yes, people. Welcome back to GNA TV. Cheers to you all. I'll just start with a bit of a look. We're ready. Cheers. I hope everyone else at home is comfortable with either their alcoholic or their non-alcoholic drinks. If you're under the age, just remember that. Yeah, we're not actually influence people to drink, so don't do that. Ladies, welcome. Charlotte, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm looking forward to it. How are you doing?
Not bad. Look who's joined us in time as well. Just in time for the show.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, Joyce, how you doing? Joyce, how are you?
I'm good. How's everyone?
Yeah, not bad. Lambs, what are you saying?
Yeah.
Cool. Good way to start. Right, lot to talk about, lot to delve into. We're going to start with Lambs because Lambs has a topic that she wants to bring up to you viewers. So I'll allow her to take over. Go on, Lambs.
Okay. Again, I don't have an agenda. I do actually like this player, but Mason Mount needs to be dropped to the bench. I'm just going to go ahead and say it now. How many games has it been? This guy is always starting. He's the first name on the team sheet. Like, I already know he's going to be the first name on the team sheet, and he is not a starter. If that was the case, why did we bother going to spend 70 plus mil on Kai Havertz when they're basically the same player? The idea was, as I was thinking, as most Chelsea fans hope, that Kai Havertz starts and Mason Mount gets dropped to the bench. So he needs to be dropped. And I can't tell you how many times, how many games when I just see him in the starting lineup and I'm just like rolling my eyes inside. I'm just like, why? I'm just like, why? I'm thinking, why is he playing? Like, Frank Lampard's determination to accommodate him into this squad is so severe. He's willing to play him out of position when we actually have fully fit wingers like Callum Hudson-Odoi, but Mason Mount is playing as a winger instead. Somebody explain that. I don't understand that. I
was just looking at Monster's message. Lambs is looking saucy. Got to say, all the women look good tonight. They're looking good. Yeah, look, one thing I would say about that is obviously every manager has their favourites. We have to bear that in mind. It's not just Lampard. It's clear that Lampard likes Mason Mount, and it's clear that Lampard hates Tomori. After the news that we found out today, he's going to AC Milan. He's going. He's gone.
I'm not even happy about this. I'm not even tolerating this. I'm really not, because why you've picked Christensen over Tomori? Like, I just can't even deal. Like, the fact my brain can't process the fact that he has chosen Christensen over Tomori. Like, how is that possible? Like, how is that even? My brain can't compete with the fact that that's a stupid thing. Christensen is irrelevant. He's not that good. He's never been that good. Like, why get rid of him? Keep Tomori. But then it's like, no one's going to take Christensen. He's done for. Like, no other team wants him. Like, maybe send him to like the MSL for his retirement 2 years and then like he can retire. But I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Tomori should have stayed. Like, he really should have stayed. Like, he has the potential. And Christensen, there's going to be no potential. He can't change. He's too old for that. Like, Tomori's still young. You can still make him into that player. And we're getting rid of him. Like, and the problem I have is that there's a clause to buy after the loan season. And that is an issue for me, because why is there a clause to buy? Like, how stupid are Chelsea? I'm sorry. That's a stupid move.
Look, we will come to the Tomori debate. Let's save that for a second. We will stick to what Lambs was saying about Mason Mount because it's definitely worth talking about, and it's something that gets talking about quite a lot along with Frank Lampard. Joyce, what are your feelings on Mason Mount and Lampard's, what's the word? What's the right word for it? Like fixation? Fixation? Yeah.
Mason Mount is Lampard's son, basically, and you've always got that
Yeah.
favourite son. You've got that favourite son that always gets picked before anyone else. The favourite son might not even be that good. The favourite son might be better coming on later on. But that favourite son always starts. Whereas you've got this other son called Havertz, and Havertz, he's so talented, and he should be starting, and the favourite son always gets picked over the talent. And Frank just needs to be like, you know what, actually, we need to bring Mason. Mason's got that energy and that potential to come on in a substitute at like 60 minutes and bring that vibe.
Yeah, in depth. And I definitely hear that.
Should be starting for what we've paid for him as well. Like Lamb said, like he shouldn't be on the bench.
Yeah, I agree. Beth's unfortunately not here with us today. She's had some little implications away from here, but she said, sorry, couldn't make it today, guys. I know you all have a good show. Can't wait to watch it all later on. Big up to you, Beth.
Yes, Beth.
And we will see you definitely next week. But going to you, Joyce, like I just said with regards to Mason Mount, what do you believe? What do you feel the situation?
Mount,
Tell me.
It's a bit hard because I think I said this last time, but I think people find it hard to separate like Mason Mount as a player and Mason Mount's treatment under Frank Lampard. Like everyone's vision is kind of clouded by the fact that he starts all the time, and it frustrates the hell out of everyone because he shouldn't be starting as much as he does. So you it's hard to look past it and you just think, why the hell is he starting again, even if he is performing, because I think Mount is consistent. He's not consistently brilliant, but you know what you're going to get from him every game. And I think there's value in that. And I think Frank sees value in that. However, he's doing him a disservice by playing him as much as he does. I agree that Havertz does need to play more games. The only thing I don't agree with is Havertz needs to play more games because he costs 70 million. I think sometimes, and I think this is what happened with with Werner and Ziyech, they got overplayed, or not overplayed, but they got like extra chances and the ability to come back and play again and again and again, even if they weren't performing, because they've got that price tag, so they have to deliver. And then you have younger players. This doesn't really apply to Mason Mount, more like to Hudson-Odoi, but because he doesn't cost as much, like he's kind of easily expendable, if that makes sense. So I think whether someone should play or not play shouldn't be based on how much they cost, but how valuable, how useful they should be to the team. And I think Havertz does need to play, especially coming back from COVID. Like it will take a while for him to kind of get back into that form. But the only way to play yourself into form is to play. I think that's kind of the issue. Like Lampard doesn't show meritocracy, and he hasn't. For a while.
I agree. It seems like he seems to have his favourites, and that's definitely the case. But Jose CSC says, I thought Anita was coming on too, and guess what? Anita is here.
Speak of the devil, and she will arrive.
She'll arrive. Is she there? Can you see her? I think she's frozen. Can you see her? Sorry, guys. She's screen's blacked out on us. She must have just had bad internet. Yeah, her internet's crashed at the worst time. I just dropped an intro for her and then bang, it's cut out. Do you know what I mean? But look, I know what you're saying about Mason Mount. And
just to quickly brush up on what Joyce said, I think Ziyech wasn't playing because of his injury, but in the moments he has played, like he has been brilliant for us as well. And then I know we're going to talk about Callum Hudson-Odoi like later on as well, but that's another player seriously disrespecting, because I have to say, lately he's been one of our best players. So
yeah, and also when he's come on at half time, like he's generally be one of our star players. And the fact that we've got fans like dissing him, like that, to me, there's just certain things that I don't even agree with the hate that Mason Mount gets. Like I don't agree with any of the hate any of the players get. Mason Mount isn't a bad player. I'm not saying that at all, but unfortunately, Havertz needs to be starting, and Mason Mount is going to be that guy that comes on in the second half and brings that oomph. But I think Hudson-Odoi needs to be being played more too.
I agree. And here she is this time. Hopefully it works.
Yeah.
The Queen has arrived, this
Sorry.
Bear. How you doing? How you doing, Queen? You all right? Yeah, that's what you've been
Please.
told, the Queen. That's what Strip Bear
You know
saying.
what? I'm gonna take it. Thank you, Strip Bear. I'm good, man. Sorry, I'm late. My work's just been like killing me lately, so I'm so sorry, guys.
That's fine. That's fine. Listen, good time to drop in. We're talking about Mason Mount and Lampard's addiction to him at the moment. Like, anything you want to add to that in general?
Oh, that's just so depressing. It's so depressing. I don't get it. I really don't understand it. Yeah. So I think Mason Mount, he's pretty important to the squad in general. Wants to go away. He's pretty important. He's important to the squad. I think like a rotational player Mason Mount can be. But to be starting every week, that's his son. Like, I just don't understand why it's his son. It doesn't make any sense to me. I think on the press, he's pretty good. But like I said, I think last time I was on the show, I said he can come on at 60 minutes when we're like 1-0 down, or when it's like a flat 1-1 to like bring up the energy and like pick up the pace and stuff. But if we are starting a game, Mason Mount's name needs to be on the bench. I'm begging. Oh,
I hear you. I hear your pain. To be fair, I feel like he needs to be. I feel like Kovacic deserves to be brought in. Like, I feel like Mason Mount's just being overplayed. Like, throw Kovacic in, man. He's top quality. Like, why is he not getting the minutes? It doesn't make sense. But do you know what? Not even just Kovacic. Billy Gilmore now. He's back. You know, he's back from injury. He's looking good. All right, it was only Morecombe the other day, but he looked good, man. At least he always looks positive. He looks forward. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would have give him a chance. I would start him against Fulham. We're going to get to that later, but I would start him against Fulham. Sophia CFC says, sorry I couldn't make it tonight's show. I'll be back next week. Only just leaving work. Poor Sod's working in the hospital 12 hours a day at the moment. Big up to her as well, with everything going on with COVID and that. So much support on that one. But I want to touch on Anita's topic of Cho and Pulisic. Anita, do you want to run with this one?
yeah, sure. Give it to me. Right. I personally, right, and Chelsea fans are going to say, oh, you don't like Pulisic. Oh, you don't respect Pulisic. I don't. No, but that aside, like, obviously, he's a good player. He's really talented. And I think on the end of last season, he was really important to us, and I will never forget it. But I also thought Torres was really important for the Champions League in 2012. You know, I thought Torres was very important. That doesn't mean I have to rate the guy, you know? At the moment, as it stands, Callum Hudson-Odoi is the better option than Christian Pulisic. He's not a better option than Ziyech, but he's definitely a better option than Werner playing on the left, definitely a better option than Mount playing anywhere on the wing, a better option than Pulisic as well. I think going forward, Pulisic needs to earn his badges back into the squad, because at the moment, he's being a bit selfish, he's dribbling a bit too much, and I'm a bit tired of it personally. Callum has had half the amount of minutes that Pulisic has had, and he has contributed more than Pulisic has. Also in, I think, almost half the amount of games as well. So it just doesn't make sense to continuously start Pulisic and wait for him to find his form. It don't make sense to me.
Yeah, look, you got an argument. For me, against Fulham, I would start Cho. I don't think Pulisic deserves to start this game. I mean, since he's been back, he's not been the same player as he was last season. It's definitely something we should be looking to do. Joyce, do you agree with Anita as well, or do you disagree?
Do you know what? I agree with Anita. I think Hudson-Odoi is the better winger. Hudson-Odoi needs to play. And he has needed to play for a while. So Lampard's treatment of him has been very confusing. And the excuses he's given, like, oh, I want him to be more like Sterling. I want him to run in behind more. I want him to get more goal contributions when he's been our most productive winger. All of that has baffled me. My only issue is the fact that Chelsea fans are fickle as hell. Because if you ask Chelsea fans this time last season, they wanted Hudson-Odoi out the door. Like the amount of like anger and like they were like, oh, you know, he should have just gone to Bayern. He's not worth all the money we paid him. Why did he sign a new contract? All this and that and the other. when he had just come back from an Achilles injury, like a really difficult injury to recover from, you know, everyone was saying, oh, do you know what? Pulisic is the truth. Pulisic this, Pulisic that. And now, only a year later, when not that much has changed, Hudson-Odoi is just kind of getting more games. People have changed their tune, and I don't understand. I just think like people need to be more respectful like towards players, because some of the abuse that I was seeing towards Hudson-Odoi last year was kind of crazy, like really, really crazy. And now now all of a sudden people are like, oh my God, I love him. He's so good. He's so talented. Lampard, why don't you start him? Like, where were you? Like this play, he's been here. He's been around. Like, and I'm glad that people are coming towards wanting him to start. But I just wish, like, as a general thing, people learn to respect players at our club a bit more.
Yeah.
That's
Look, I agree. I think what you say is it makes a lot of sense, and I completely agree with you. Lambs, how are you feeling about the whole Pulisic situation?
Yeah, can't disagree with anything Anita said or really what Joe said. To hear it really. He's our best winger at the moment. Obviously bar Ziyech, but Ziyech has been injured, so you can't really give a full assessment on his form at the moment. But from the moments that Ziyech in, he's been absolutely brilliant for us. So you'd have to say Ziyech is definitely number one when he's fully fit. But then after that, it's Callum Hudson-Odoi definitely over Werner, over Pulisic, definitely. Oh my God, definitely over Mount as well.
Good story.
It really annoyed me last year because I was seeing like, literally to echo what Joyce said, like so much abuse online and people saying, oh, he's got as much goals as he has arrests, etc., which is just complete BS in my opinion, because I always knew how talented this kid was, and I was like, just you wait. Bayern Munich are the best team in the world right now, right? There's a reason why Bayern Munich are not relenting in their chase for him, because they recognize and see the talent. They can see the caliber of the player. And when we're sitting here playing Mason Mount as a winger over Callum Hudson-Odoi, who's perfectly fit, sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
This is another reason why I have a problem with Frank and why I want him to leave this. Why I want him to leave this club, because again, these are mistakes that you cannot be making. If we let a player of that caliber go.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah. Look, I feel like everyone's just like, is it because Pulisic? Look, if Pulisic was how he was at the end of last season, I'm going to ask you a question, and we'll go to Charlotte in a second. But if Pulisic was the same player as he was last season, this season, and obviously Cho was playing as well as he was, who would you pick out the two?
Hudson-Odoi.
Still.
Period.
Sorry, Pulisic has an injury that can be triggered at any time.
Forget that. I'm talking about when he's at his best, like we saw last season.
He could still get injured. Look at what happened. At his best, he got injured. Like, I don't want someone who's got a triggering injury that even at their best can still be triggered and then can be out. At least, you know, with Hudson-Odoi, he has consistency through, and he doesn't have a recurring injury, because realistically, if you look at Pulisic's time at Chelsea, like half the time he's been out with an injury. Like, he's had this injury and he's not, and we have to be so careful when we play him. I don't need a player that needs to be careful. Like, at least with Hudson-Odoi, you can take those risks and you can attack. With Pulisic, you've got to be a little bit careful, because something could trigger his injury. Like, and that's where I have an issue. Like, you can't be having a player whose injury is bigger than him. That's not how it works. And right now, Pulisic's injury is bigger than him right now, because he's having to be careful. He can't take risks. Like, he's having to be rested. Like, and I know players should be rested, but he's having to be rested more than others, because his injury doesn't allow for that. And Frank has to be careful when he plays him. At least when Hudson-Odoi is on the pitch, there's no like worrying about like, oh, his injury might be reoccurring. Hudson-Odoi has actually turned up. And Hudson-Odoi also recovered from an injury and has actually still turned up. Pulisic has recovered from an injury, but actually hasn't turned up. Like, he really hasn't. Like, the Pulisic I've seen hasn't turned up. But Hudson-Odoi went through the same, like, a really bad injury and has actually come back and is actually looking to get better and better, whereas Pulisic hasn't. And you can't have that mentality. Like, that's not, you can't have the mentality of trying.
I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm probably going to be. It's going to sound like I'm being devil's advocate because you know what I'm like. But if Pulisic was fit, if he didn't have the injuries he did, and he was at his best, and it was Cho at his best, I think I'd take Pulisic. I just think when he's on form, and when he's playing, he's a lot more direct. He's a lot more threatening. I like Cho. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't like Cho, but I think both of them at their best, I would still take Christian Pulisic. I'm sure you 3 or 4 are going to disagree with me right now, but it looks by your faces, it's saying it all. It's like Jem's talking out of his backside right now. It's Cho, but that's my opinion.
When you have a team like Bayern Munich that want Callum Hudson-Odoi, Bayern Munich didn't want Pulisic. They didn't want Pulisic. They want Callum Hudson-Odoi. They still do right now. Like
And they've gone for Pulisic because he was a Dortmund, right?
Pulisic is like they could have chosen Pulisic. They didn't. They chose Hudson-Odoi. That's saying something to me. That's saying Munich see something that a lot of us see in Hudson-Odoi that we don't see in Pulisic, and that is Hudson-Odoi is better. Fact.
Fair enough. All right. I'll let you win on that one. Yeah, it's like I'm outnumbered here anyway. So I've got a question for you.
Say something just really quickly. With Pulisic, how often will we see his best? Because if we look at the entire run of last season before his injury, the only game people talk about is the Burnley match.
Yeah.
Everyone has been feasting off this.
Come on, that's harsh. That's harsh. You telling me that he didn't carry us last season for many times throughout the season?
Honestly,
I feel like Giroud did. Giroud scored some crucial goals.
No, come on.
More than
honest with you, even there's even a shout for Tammy. Even a small shout.
No.
I'm just gonna say that in it because during that Burnley match, he put on a sublime performance. I'm not even gonna cap that. At them times, I was thinking, maybe I'm wrong about this guy. But after that, if you can name me a standout match where you're like, oh, this guy carried us on our back before lockdown, let me know because I personally I ain't seen it.
Last season, a lot of the time, and I don't know if you've forgotten this, a lot of the times it was all about Christian Pulisic. Is he going to play? Because if he plays, Chelsea are a different beast. They're a different animal with him in the team. Why? Because he's direct, he's creative. Yes, Giroud got a lot of the goals, and I agree, but Pulisic did contribute to, but he also used to contribute to assists as well. He was important last season for us.
Not really.
He was. He was
Because
not at the beginning. Not the beginning. Later on, because obviously
that's the problem. That's the problem. After lockdown, after having that long ass rest, long rest, where he admitted that it gave him time to practice, it gave him time to develop himself as a player, blah blah blah. That's when we saw the best of him. And right now, it's just looking like the Pulisic I didn't like to begin with. If I'm being honest with you,
this before.
Yeah,
I was Joyce. You know me. I was saying this.
You listen. You don't. I don't feel like you represent the majority of Chelsea fans. Though that's the thing. Like, if you ask Chelsea fans before this season started, who is in our best starting 11? You will struggle to find anyone who put Hudson-Odoi in our starting 11. You will struggle.
Yeah, but he didn't deserve it last season. He didn't deserve it last season.
But I'm saying like everyone. If you ask everyone, what is our best 11 at the beginning of the season? Pulisic was a dead starter. Everyone's saying Pulisic is our best player. All of that. How does that? I don't understand. Is it that everyone was wrong about Pulisic? Like the whole Chelsea Football Club fan base was wrong about Pulisic, and they're only just realizing it now because Hudson-Odoi was playing, or did we overestimate how good it is? I just don't understand how people's opinions of him can shift so drastically in like half a year.
Personally, my opinion of Christian Pulisic hasn't changed. I think he's a great player. I think he helped us in significant moments like last season. But again, like to echo what Anita said, it wasn't consistent. It was like in bursts here and there. Do you know what I mean? And it wasn't like oh, Pulisic isn't playing, oh, that's it, we're losing this game. Because it wasn't. Like, we had people like Tammy and Giroud to like dig out these wins for us, you know. And even here and there, actually, people forgetting Ross Barkley would literally just score like this one shot, like, and win us the game 1-0, and that's it, 3 points. You don't even have him anymore as an option. You know what I mean? So I do kind of agree with the fact it wasn't completely like Pulisic, because shortly after that Burnley game, did he not have another injury and he was out for a couple months as well?
Yeah, look, he's made a tweak. Let's be serious. The guy, he plays 1 or 2 games and his legs just go. You know, he's 22, 23, and he's had 20 injuries. 20 injuries.
That's what I'm saying. If he's that young and he's having that many injuries, that's saying something to me. That to me is God saying, you know what, hun, this sport is not for you. This sport is not for you. If you've had that many injuries in a short period of time, if you look at it this way, like if you want to sell him on, no team's going to take him, because they're going to be like, shit, he's had this many injuries. No, thank you. You can take that elsewhere. Like, no one's going to want. Yeah, no one's going to want him. He's going to have to go back to the MSL for his 2-year retirement period, like that eventually, because no one's going to want to take a man who's had that many injury periods, because there's no consistency. And then your performance get affected because you're not being able to be consistent because of this injury, and then you're not being able to show people what you're capable of, and then it becomes a big cycle that is now looking like Pulisic's being affected by his injury. Like the way he plays.
Fair enough. I mean, it seems like we've summed it up, really. What we're saying is Cho needs to play and Pulisic needs to be benched. End of, by the sounds of it. That's the rift I'm getting from it. So,
hypocrisy and who deserves to play. Cho has now proved he deserves to play. He deserves to start. Pulisic hasn't. He hasn't proven that, so he now needs to earn his way back into the squad. So he's on the bench and Cho starts, and then he comes on as a substitute and he plays his way back into the team. That's how it's got to be, really and truly. You don't deserve then you need to be dropped.
No, I agree with you, Lambs. I agree with you. Let's move on, because we could sit all day talking about Cho and Pulisic and Cho and whatever. I want to go on to Tomori. I want to talk about Tomori and his move to AC Milan. I'm going to start with Anita. Obviously, I know you are quite a big fan of Tomori, and to be honest, I would have, out of all of the defenders we got, I'd rather have seen Christensen out that door rather than Tomori. But what is your thoughts on Tomori going on loan to AC Milan? Do you think that's it? We're never going to see him in a Chelsea shirt again, because they can also buy him, can't they, at the end of the loan agreement as well, which is an option to buy. So, what's your thoughts?
Firstly, to the comment there, I ain't wearing no makeup too, baby. Wait till you see my final form. Wait, no, I'm playing. Thank you. What do I think of? I think Frank Lampard's a liar. I can't trust him anymore. Personally, after he came out earlier this week, say, of course he has a long future here. Apparently there's an option to buy on this deal. He's a liar. So I don't even have too much to say on it. Like, everyone who is a Chelsea fan and has eyes can see that Tomori, if not our second best defender, our third best defender. Like, that's just flat standard. He has done nothing to warrant the behavior that he's been receiving as of late. Last, was it 2 seasons ago at Derby, there was no qualms there with him and Lampard. So what's happened now that there's all of a sudden a big something that's going on between them? It just doesn't make sense to me. So firstly, he's a liar. Secondly, he clearly loves mediocrity, because Christensen is still at my club. Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. Rudiger, as much as I defend Rudiger, he's still there. He's still there. But it's Tomori we're putting out on loan. Tomori's quick. He's not the strongest guy, but he can bully players off the ball. What more do you want in a defender in the Premier League at this moment in time? You need a quick defender, regardless of anything. Look at, I'm not saying Thiago Silva is struggling, but when he's outpaced, look at what Gundogan did to my guy, man. Like, come on, man. Like, these little things that we're needing in defenders, Tomori has the extra bits that our defenders don't have. But what are we doing? Giving him to AC Milan with an option to buy, supposedly. Lampard, I don't trust him.
Look. If they want to have Tomori and then give us this guy, which Gio, who's a big AC Milan fan, big up to you, who's in the chat. He says, love that, Gem. Tomori will be Romagnoli's long-term partner. How about you give us Romagnoli? Because he's actually very, very good at AC
Yeah.
Milan. And you keep Tomori as a part of the deal. How
Thank
about that
you.
one, bro?
But I
You
just,
know,
I don't know.
That's smart, unlike us.
But I'm so confused. Like, I'm confused as to why Alonso's still here. Like, as to why Christensen's still here. Like, Alonso, like, who is he? Like, where has he been? He's been missing. Like, I don't even know who he is. Like, I don't know who Alonso is. How, like, Christensen, we could have sold Christensen to the MSL where he could have gone for his 2-year retirement period. His 2-year retirement period where he needs to be because he's irrelevant now. I'm done with him. Like, and the fact that we even put a buy clause on there, a buy clause. Like, how thick are we? How thick are Chelsea? Like, I'm sorry, that's not even smart. Like, I'm pretty sure like a 5-year-old would know not to do that. Like, this is not smart behaviour. And the fact that we still have Alonso and Christensen,
And
two
Rudiger.
players that, like, and Rudiger as well. Alonso, haven't seen him all season, don't want to see him all season.
period.
Christensen, don't want to see Christensen for the rest of the season either. Don't want to see Rudiger for the rest of the season. But, you know,
Well-
I have to because smart decisions aren't being made at this club. And if you're
This-
and Frank, we like Frank because he came in and he brought all the youth in. He brought all this youth in, and we thought he was going to keep the youth, and he respected the youth. That's the one thing I've like always thought up until now is that Frank respected the youth and wanted to bring the youth in. However, I'm sorry, you respect the youth. And then he makes a comment this week about saying Tomori's got a future here. What future? You've just put a buy clause in. AC Milan aren't going to not take him. AC Milan aren't going to be that stupid to be like, oh, that's a defender that actually does his job. Oh, we're not going to keep him. Like,
Yeah, look, I agree, and look, it seems like the viewers are also saying the same thing. I think Christensen is viewed better than Tomori. I don't know why. Don't ask me. Every time I've seen the guy play, he's got a mistake in him. Seems to be an issue, and yeah, I mean, I think to be honest, and what worries me is I feel like it might be the board pushing the whole Christensen thing more so than Tomori, because I think they think he's maybe the better player. Maybe they think he deserves to be playing. I don't know, whatever the reason should be. But at the end of the day, it don't make sense, right? Frank Lampard, he was leading with Frank Lampard that Derby team. So Lampard decides to bring him to Chelsea. Yeah, he has one bad game. Let's be serious. He had one minor bad game, and then he gets kicked out the door. It just don't make any sense. Like, I don't feel like Lampard's like, it's got to be Lampard. Because imagine there must be something else involved in this. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, why is he not giving the opportunity?
Alonso has a bad game every time he comes on the pitch. Christensen usually has a bad game every time he comes on the pitch, but they're still getting played. Like, Tomori has one bad game, and all of a sudden it's like, nah, you can just go to Milan. Like, this man has one bad game, but there are so many players that have. Look at Kepa. Like, the man we don't speak of, him, that thing in the goalkeeper, like him. He's still been played this season. He's been played this season. The man that just let him go, he has been played in a starting 11. And we're not talking about, we're not getting rid of him. Oh, but tomorrow, yes, one bad game. It's like, nah, sorry, hon.
What about the run of like 3 or 4 bad games in a row when Rudiger was just behaving like a complete clown?
Oh, you know what? Do you know why Rudiger's still here? Do you know why Rudiger's still here?
He's our German connection.
Yeah, but do you know what? Listen to this. Do you know why Rudiger's still here? We actually tried to sell Rudiger, and it was only because Tottenham wouldn't buy him off us that I think he's still at Chelsea. Because I actually think we'd have just got rid of him. You know that.
Yeah,
but
that's why I think Alonso. That's why I think Alonso's still here, because no one wants him. When you say Marcos Alonso is up for sale, all these clubs are like, "Yep, I'll offer him for free. I will take him for free for nothing." But I don't want him for anything else. Like, he's not worth anything, Alonso isn't. Christensen's not worth anything. Kepa is probably worth like £1 million. That's about it. That's me being generous. Like, they're not worth anything.
Just a quick one. People smash the like button, share, retweet, do your thing. We had nearly 35 odd viewers at once at any one time, which is great. This is great for the channel, and we love the support. Joyce, what's your view on all this? Christensen and Rudiger. Not Rudiger, sorry, Tomori. What's your situation?
Yeah. Do you know the Tomori thing is so like basically what everyone else has said. Like, I don't understand how we kind of went from being our starting centre back, so him and Zuma, starting when Frank Lampard first started here, and then it was a good partnership. I think lots of people were quite surprised, but really enjoyed seeing them play. Then they had like a bad run of games. We bring in Christensen and Rudiger. We realise that they are absolutely horrible, and everyone begs for them to leave at the end of the season. But they continue to play games right until the end of the season. God knows why, I don't know. In the summer, we hear reports Rudiger's going to leave. Tomori might go on loan, whatever. We can't shift Rudiger. Tomori decides to stay for, several reasons, whatever. So why would you want to now play Rudiger, who you wanted to get rid of, ahead of Tomori, who's actually good and who's actually talented? It didn't really make sense to me. Like, it's the whole meritocracy thing again. And I feel like there must be something more than just he isn't playing. I don't know if he doesn't see like a long-term future for him or that kind of thing, but I really think he should have gone on loan. And also, I think the only thing that works, I guess, in the club's favour, I think an option to buy isn't necessarily the same as an obligation to buy. So at the end of the loan, if they want to buy him, they can. But I think Chelsea, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Chelsea can refuse if they want to record.
Yeah, they can. Well, this is the discussion that I had on Monsters channel, because they were talking about just earlier. They were talking about because it's once he's on his loan, obviously they can purchase him. And Kai was saying, I don't think Chelsea have a say if they pay the money. If they pay the money that's on the contract to buy him, they can take him. But my point is this: what if he goes AC Milan and he has a really good season, and then Chelsea sit there and think, shit, we actually mucked up here. Like, he's actually quite decent. Let's get him back. Like, I don't see how Chelsea would just allow him just to go if AC Milan spend the money on the buy clause. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah, but you didn't think he was going to go out for loan, but he is. You don't really know their prospects of thinking right now. I didn't think he was. I thought he's the last person to go out on loan, but he's not. So, I mean, you don't know Chelsea's thought process. They could sell him. Like, they could take Milan's offer, although I think it'd be the stupidest thing they did. But because I think the potential he has at Chelsea is very decent. Like, but I think that if a Milan offer, I don't know, they might say yes, they might say no. I didn't think we'd be discussing him today, but we are.
Well, but apparently we might be getting that Upamecano guy.
yes,
from Leipzig.
No, I don't want him.
I'm just like, I get, he's a big name right now, but please, guess who else was a big name right now? That guy that plays for Napoli. I even forgot his name, fam. He was a big name the other year. That's it. He was a big name the other year. Guess what? He got exposed by Arsenal. So please, like, Lord, please, I do not want that man. Let's just keep Tomori. I do not want that man, please.
Well, what about other options, right? I don't agree with Upamecano. I don't think he's good for the club. But what about someone like Jimenez from Atletico Madrid, for example? Or even Koulibaly from Italy, someone like that.
The reason why I'm against this, and I've always been against like having new defenders coming to our squad unless it's for experience, is because I think defenders, they put their life on the line for the badge, right? Any defender that comes through the academy and has looked at John Terry's footsteps, looks at the likes of Carvalho, they've studied under these people. Like, look at, for example, Ben Chilwell's now studying under Ashley Cole. Like, things like that. It's really important. I need a defender that's going to defend for the badge, and not just because he's a big name defender. Like, we look at other teams that are buying. Look at Manchester City's defense, Apart from Company, who was really putting their arse on the line for them? People argue Laporte, but Laporte wasn't putting his arse on the line for them. He wasn't doing that. He was just playing smart. I need a defender that's going to put his life on the line, because once Thiago Silva goes, who's going to be that partnership that will put their life on the line for the badge? Ain't nobody going to swallow their tongue for the badge right now. John Terry's the only person that could have ever done that in our history. I need a guy that's going to swallow his tongue for the badge. That's what I need. I need to his tongue on his stomach.
I think you're right. I think you're 100% right. And you know what? Gio, the AC Milan fan, he's right. It's peanuts. 26 million as an option to buy Tomori. What if he has such a sick season? Like, we've just shot ourselves in the foot. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, but we're going to shoot ourselves in the foot is if we sell him and then he succeeds in Milan, and every like Chelsea fan that's been against this kind of move for him to go on loan is going to be so annoyed at the fact that he's succeeding in Milan, and we sold him, and B, he's doing well when he could have come back here after his loan season, had his minutes and time away, got that experience, come back and done great. But I think regret is going to be head against Tomori. I really do.
Yeah.
We do have a lot of other. Oh, sorry.
He's not. We didn't buy him. We literally bought him as like a filler. So we bought him in as a filler. So when he eventually leaves, the likes of like Zuma, Fikayo Tomori, they'll be seasoned in these roles because they would have learned this experience. And now you're going to get rid of the other person who's supposed to be our full-time defender after Thiago Silva leaves.
Yeah, I don't know. It don't make no sense, does it? It doesn't. No. Go on, Joyce. Did you want to say something, Joyce?
No, I was just going to say that, like, I know that Tomori's like treatment under Lampard has been very strange and quite disappointing, to be honest. But I will also say that we have a lot of talented centre backs, like young centre backs in our ranks.
Yes.
And so it will be disappointing if Milan do take up that option to buy. But I think we also need to remember, like, this is kind of what Chelsea Football Club do. I think Lampard coming in and bringing in, like a few youth players and like starting them in the side and making them mainstays, I think has made people forget how Chelsea usually operate. Like, this is what we do. We take young players, we ship them off on loan for, I mean, Piazon was on loan for like 10 years. He played 3 appearances for us, and then we went and sold him to God knows where. I don't even know, somewhere in Portugal. I don't care. But like, this is kind of Chelsea Football Club. This is how we choose to develop players, by sending them off on loan, seeing if they can make it, perform at another big club and then come back. And so if it hopefully, we don't mess it up and we can bring Tomori back and he can be a centre back for us. Also, if it doesn't work, we've also got Mark, I can't say his name, Gay.
Gay. I just called him Gay. Did I just call him Gay? Gay. Gay. How do you pronounce it? Is it Guehi? Guehi.
Yeah.
Gay?
I don't know.
Is it Gay? Just call him Gay. Mark Gay.
I'm going to call him Marky Boy. Yeah. He's doing really, really well at Swansea on loan, and he's had that time away from the club to develop as like a really good senior centre back. So when he comes in, he's had that like player experience, and maybe Tomori does need that. If he's not going to play here, I'd rather he plays somewhere else and develops and sits on the bench and rots under Lampard. Do you know what I mean? So if we play it right, then we could have plenty of young centre backs as an option, but I just don't know that we will.
Leo, sorry, bro. It's nice to have you here, but if you want to ask us about Liverpool, it's not a good time, bro. This is the Chelsea Ladies Show, bro. Unfortunately, we don't talk about Liverpool here. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a lady, but yeah, I know he's probably thinking, you're not a lady.
Keep
what are you
telling
doing?
Bring you a wig if you want one.
Where is it? Right, let's make it fun, shall we? Let's talk about this. Let's get it up. I'm going to share screen right now. We are going to delve into formations. Right, what we're going to do first, what I've done right now, can you see it? Does it come up?
Yeah.
All right, so this is what I believe Lampard's going to do against Fulham tomorrow. This is what I think. It's not what I want him to do, but this is what I think he's going to do.
Yeah.
Does anyone disagree with me in terms of what they think Lampard's going to do tomorrow?
No.
I think you're right. If anything, maybe I'd probably switch out Jorginho for Kovacic, possibly. But I don't know, I feel like there's a good chance he probably might go for Jorginho, to be fair, because I can just see like a real slow pace to the game. Jorginho just with them sideways passes as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Kante's suspended, isn't he?
Yes, he is. That's why I've not put him on here at the moment. Look, going into this game tomorrow, what I want you to do now, forget Lampard. Fuck Lampard right now. Tell me what you would do tomorrow. Who would you pull in? What would you do with the formation?
We can
Tell
take
me.
Mount out immediately.
Let's talk about it.
Mount out immediately.
So look, I'm gonna say something that I think should be Done. I think we should put Gilmore in instead of Jorginho because I do not rate Jorginho whatsoever. So I'm going to say Billy Gilmore should be at the anchor. Does anyone disagree with me on this one?
I don't disagree. I just think Jorginho gets a lot
Anyone?
of bad stick unnecessarily.
Necessarily, sis. Necessarily.
Anita?
He's missed 3 penalties.
We didn't buy him to score
I mean,
penalties. That's not his job.
Jorginho gets the hate for the reason that he's not the greatest player. Like, sometimes he comes in and does a little bit for us, but I mean, for me, he's nothing that special. The man, I wouldn't mind if he goes. I really wouldn't. Like, if he left, I wouldn't be that bothered.
He should have gone to City. That team suits him a lot more than us.
Yeah.
Probably should have taken him to Juventus.
Probably. Is there anything else that you would change about the starting lineup tomorrow against Fulham? Who else would you have in there? I mean, there's a good shout for Cho, who's on the bench at the moment.
Out. What Charlotte said. Mount out.
Yeah. Can we just remove Mount?
Are we all
please?
agreeing?
Yeah.
Are we all agreeing on that? Yeah. All right. So who's coming in for Mount then? Coming in. Tell me.
I personally
Jorginho,
would do a
Kovacic.
4-3-1.
I
Okay.
would
Let's do that.
I'll do a 4-3-3-1.
Who sits next to Gilmore?
Cover.
Cover.
Do we all agree?
Yeah, just not Jorginho. Obviously, if Kante was there, then Kante, but
We don't really have options.
Ignore the kit. Yeah, this is the old kit, you know. Look, it's just Yakahoma in it. Ignore that. Kovacic. So we've got Kovacic, Gilmore, and then are we saying Havertz or Mount?
Havertz.
I'm gonna say Havertz.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pulisic or Cho?
Cho.
Joe.
Yeah.
Okay, let's bring Cho in. And then the big question is, can I just this is what I'm going to say to you right now. There's a good chance that Fulham might play 5 at the back tomorrow. And if they do that, this man is not going to be able to be as effective anywhere to really get behind them. Do you not think Olivier Giroud would be a good option, just in terms of hold play, winning balls in the air?
No.
What do you think?
I
I feel like
No?
I think
Go on.
I think personally, Fulham's defense is actually not that bad. That Werner's pace should probably be good enough to get past them. To be honest,
I feel like also
Fair enough.
it will boost Werner's confidence, like being able to, like, that's a confidence booster. That's getting more minutes in, like that. Being in another starting 11, that's a boosting confidence in your actual position, like, and also being able to get a goal. Like, I think that's even more confidence, and that's what we need to be doing right now. I mean, you could bring Giroud on in the last 20 minutes of the game. I think if we need that, Giroud is there to bring on, but we have that option to bring him on eventually.
I personally
Fair enough.
think with the front 4, right? This is what I envisioned in my head when we got Havertz and Werner. The link-up play, that literally just that. The link-up play between them should be A1. Like, it should be good. Once they find their chemistry, the link-up play will be great. So one thing I've clocked is that Ziyech often finds Callum's runs, which is beautiful as hell. And I also think Havertz and Werner, having played together with Germany, Havertz knows when Werner is about to make a move. Havertz knows when to interchange with Werner. So sometimes when Werner sits back a bit and he's making the runs in, you see Havertz in the box quite a bit. So if Lampard plays his cards right and doesn't do the whole cross and inshallah regime, and we play through the middle, we do the link-up play between our boys, it will confuse our enemies. I promise you, it will really confuse our enemies. I think Werner needs to start for all those reasons.
What about this? This is just a big if. What about this? You're probably not going to like it, but I just want to see what you think. What if we do that, but put Pulisic this side and put Cho this side? How does that to you?
I think it looks good.
Is it a possibility? Because he has played as a 10 by Ajax.
Yeah, it's always going to be a possibility. I think Lampard can always chop and change. However, I'm looking at it as I've got £80 million on the bench. So no, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the only
I
thing.
agree
Yeah.
there.
Joyce, what do you think about that? Or do you think Havertz needs to come in still and Ziyech on the right? What would you do?
About this front four.
Yeah, so would you still have Havertz there and Ziyech on the right, for example?
I would be quite
Cho out
interested
here,
to see
Pulisic
Ziyech.
on the bench by the looks of
I'd
it.
be quite interested to see Ziyech as a 10. I think seeing him create through the middle would be kind of a different dynamic. I don't know how often he played there for Ajax, if he did at all. I don't watch Dutch football. I won't lie and say I do, but I think that would be like a different dynamic, and it would be quite interesting. I think the only thing is, it just, I don't know. I don't think that Pulisic should start this game. I think he should come off the bench. So already that doesn't kind of work for me. I agree that if Havertz wants to, like, you know, for his performance to improve, he does need to start. Not because of how much he costs, but just because, you know, there is a good player there. We just haven't had much of a chance to see it. But I think, like, in the future at some point, like, we've got very versatile attackers who are able, not really Pulisic, but, you know, someone like Hudson-Odoi can play on both wings. Someone like Ziyech can play, like, you know, potentially as a 10 and play on the wing as well. So I think in the future it would be interesting to see how they interchange kind of across the front four, but not for tomorrow. I don't think tomorrow.
Do you think? Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think Lampard's going to do this. I don't think you will see a 4. I want to see a 4-2-3-1, but I just don't think he's going to do that. I think it'll be a 4-3-3, and I think it'll be more like something like that with Gilmour behind, and then obviously these two on the wing a bit further up. Would you still be happy with that, Lambs? Would you still be happy with that, Lambs, if it was
with
like
the
that?
same players?
With these,
with the same or not?
No. I feel like as well as the lineup, he needs to change the formation as well. I think I've been saying this for, I think, maybe the last 5 games now, where I'm just like, okay, it's going to be 4-3-3. Oh, okay, here we go again. And I'm seeing what I'm already predicting before the game's already kicked off, in the sense where I can see these other teams have sussed us out. And when I'm waiting to see what Frank's reply is, there is none. There's nothing. He stubbornly continues to consistently insist on continuing with this. He doesn't want to change. He doesn't have a plan B, a plan C, plan D. None of that. If his plan A doesn't work, nothing. When I'm watching games and I'm seeing like him and other managers on the touchline, he's just sitting there silently in his chair, or he's standing there silently watching the game. I'm not seeing any vocalness. I'm not seeing any shouting, screaming, where I'm seeing other managers literally like flailing their arms about, screaming, like I can hear them, like they're standing next to me. Whereas Frank, he's just sitting there like, and then after the game, oh yeah, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. We know it's not good enough, mate. We saw it wasn't good enough for the 40th minute. But the question is, did you? No, you didn't. You didn't do anything to change it, did you?
No.
I think
she's right. I agree.
3-3. Mount is going to be there again. Jorginho will start. Trust me on all of these things. And come tomorrow, I'll be like,
yeah, it's look. I think Jorginho's going to start. I think Mount's going to start. I think Cho's probably going to be on the bench, and Pulisic is going to start. I think you're going to have a front three of Pulisic, Ziyech, and Werner, with a Mount, Havertz, and a Jorginho in midfield, and then the back 5 talks for themselves, to be honest, so I ain't going to bother with that. But Charlotte, what I want you to do now is tell me what you think is the best formation for Chelsea going forward. What would you do? What do you think is the best formation for Chelsea to play, and what players should play within it? So you tell me what you want me to do right now.
Well, it's definitely not a 4-3-3. That one can go in the bin. Like, we've played that till it doesn't work. We're still playing it till it doesn't work now. Like, we've like this 4-3-3 is not even in the picture. That thing, you can just take
what do you want?
It in the bin.
Tell me what you want.
I want a 4-2-3-1. That's what I want.
What do you want to see? You want a 4-2-3-1. All right. And then what individuals? I mean, looking at on who's on here now, who would you switch
I mean, I'd
if you're going to switch anyone?
personally I'm going to keep Werner where he is. Because I think
What
that's
about Kante?
important.
He's got to get in there, really. Are we
I
getting
mean,
Kante in there? Where's he going?
I'd bring Kante in and then take Kovacic off for the time being. I think Kante's got that stability that we need,
Okay.
and if we need Kovacic, we can always bring him on towards the end in the last 20 minutes. I'd personally keep Gilmour on because I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see how he does. I want
I
to see
agree.
how he works under pressure, and I'd like to see him start in a Premier League. Like he's talented. Let's use him. Yeah, I'd keep Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech, and Havertz on. Like, I don't particularly want to change anything else more. And
Timo Werner?
I keep. Yeah, Werner's got to stay.
Yeah, no Giroud. Giroud.
No. Giroud can come on in the last 20 minutes when I'm prepared for him to bring that energy on if we need that, which I'm hoping against Fulham that we don't. With that kind of team that we've got now, I'm hoping that we don't. I mean, with the back four, there's no one else that I particularly want to bring on. I think that back four's on paper is decent. I mean, they've not played too bad. Like, I mean, I think the problem is you can have this team on paper, and you can just expect big things. We're just looking at that team that looks like big things, but this team, Chelsea could come out against Fulham and not turn up, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
Like, we can have this formation that we all want. We can have the players that we all want, but if the players don't turn up, it's game over.
Yeah, I hear you. Anita, do you like the look of this, or would you change anything about this?
Is this just for the Fulham game?
No, this is your dream Chelsea team right now. How you want to see it?
Okay, this is gonna sound so crazy, but I just need you guys to just rock with me.
Just navigate me.
So first things first, I changed the formation. So Ben Chilwell stays. If you can push him further up a bit.
Okay. Like
Yep.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yep, there will be fine. Push James up as well.
Cool. Yeah.
And if we add Aspilicueta.
Okay. Who are we taking out?
We ain't taking no one out. So we're leaving that as a back five or back three. Keeping Kante.
We've got 12 people on the pitch.
Of course. But keeping Kante.
Okay, cool.
Take out Gilmour.
Gilmour going?
This is going to sound so mad. Take out
cool.
Gilmour. Move Kante central.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Push Havertz up a bit.
Cool.
And bring Callum and Ziyech a bit closer in. This sounds so crazy.
You want a diamond?
I know how it looks.
Yeah, you want a diamond.
I know how it sounds, but this is what I want.
Look at that gap here. Look, Kante's going to be like this. He's going to be like,
But the thing is, because we've got three at the back, right? Zuma could be the person who pushes up a bit ahead of the other defenders to support Kante just when we're on recovery. That's just how I'd see it. Or James can cut in and Aspie takes that the right side. Wow. That's how I see it. But again, this is a FIFA formation. I know it's a FIFA formation.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. Look, you've done a diamond here from Kante to Chilwell to James in the back three, and then you've done a diamond at the top. Look, Ziyech, Havertz, and Werner. Look at the middle.
I would love to see it. There's
nothing here
on recovery.
Yeah,
James can cut in. Aspilicueta goes out wide. I think that would be exciting, though. It would be exciting if that banged.
So wait. I need to understand this formation. I need to understand your logic of this formation. because at the moment I am seeing gaps everywhere across the pitch. So what is James and Chilwell doing in this game? Are they meant to be here? Are they meant to be like that? And then Kante's protecting them from behind like this? Is this what he's doing?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
what is it you're doing here? Because there's loads of gaps
More
on
like
the...
that.
Wow. I mean, Joyce,
It's really
what do you think about that?
It's really ambitious, but you can't admit it. You can't lie. If it would bang, it would be such an exciting team. If it bangs,
It would be. Yeah.
That's a deal,
It's
you know.
definitely
You
exciting.
ask
It's
me
definitely FIFA stuff.
Yeah, no, at this point, I'd rather Frank try this, to be honest, because anything is better than his typical 4-3-3.
Literally, if this works, anything is better than what we're trying right now. Like, I was a bit wary at first because I was like, there's so many gaps, but you know, anything is better than what we're doing right now.
If everybody's running into those pockets of space as the gaps are intended to create,
exactly.
Like Ania said, it could bang. Like, we'll be watching some champagne football. Like, woo!
Can someone just get hold of Frank Lampard and tell him Anita's had a banging idea and someone needs to take her up on it? Like,
hey, listen.
I just worry. The only thing I worry about this formation is when these lot are here, like this, and Havertz has the ball, and then you've got, all right, these lot combining. It's when we lose the ball, you're then asking Kante to retrieve, which leaves not only a gap behind him, like here, it also, if he does that, because these lot are so far up the pitch, look at the gap between, all right, there's 5 defenders now, I get that. But let's just say, wait. Let's say James is there as well. Yeah, let's say James is supporting Cross FC.
Yeah.
Like, is that not a problem? This gap here.
No. Nah, Jem, this is what will happen, yeah? If Kante's up there, yeah, this is what will happen. Yeah, push Aspie up.
Yeah.
He will be covering James. You got to remember, when we did play 3 at the back, who was covering Alonso's ass? Because Alonso was always up there doing rubbish.
Right.
So everyone will be pushed up.
Yeah, you've got a point. So the defense would be pushed up regardless anyway. So you're gonna I get that. It's gonna be literally, it's a bit like Man City. I think it's the way Man City play, where they just pin you in, didn't they? So you've got so many players around here with your defense pushed up high, but then it just leaves a massive gap behind you. But you've got pace at the back.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Yeah, I just want to see some through balls, and this gives me that. I just want to see some through balls. I want to see us play through the middle. I would just want to see something. I'm tired of going out wide, crossing. I'm tired of it.
Mo's right.
Freestyle football.
Mo says it's the detention of freestyle football. That is 100% right.
If Lampard ever did it, and let's say maybe Kovacic is in the middle, and it bangs, all of you owe me my reparation. I'm telling you now. No, I'm not saying it doesn't work. Listen, I love it. I absolutely love it. I just think if you're playing, I only think you can do that against certain teams. I can't see us playing like that against Man United. Because if we're like that, and they've got Rashford and Bruno,
Fulham, surely
you're in trouble.
Man United will rip us with that 100%. But once upon a time, we played 3 at the back.
Yeah, I agree.
Some beautiful football. I wouldn't want to put Havertz. Do you know the thing is? Like, what would make more sense? Is to have Mount next to Kante, but I would not want to put my pride through that. So
Anita, have we not already played this formation under Lampard already with the 3 at the back and the wing backs, Kante holding, and then not maybe the attacking side of things, because I think 3-5-2 we done that, didn't we, or 3-5-1? I can't remember. Yeah, because when we played Spurs last season, he played 3 at the back, didn't he?
He's done it with
wing back, so you had James and Shaw. Yeah.
He done it with Liverpool as well.
I think it was more like this. When he done it, it was more like this. It was like Kante there, and then say Havertz is Kovacic, and then you had I think you had the wingers that were like more in, and then you had like your wing backs like Chilwell. It wasn't Chilwell at the time, but James like that. But they had to go up and down, sort of thing. So it's near enough to. Joyce, what do you think about this crazy formation that Anita's decided to?
I think we're just gonna send
pick up. Do you agree with it? Is it your like dream?
I sent Kante into an early grave, man.
Go on.
I don't think he's
Let him go.
No, like, honestly,
Let him go. I want to be excited when I'm watching football for once. I want to feel like it was when it's 16, 17 Conte. I want to feel like that. Oh,
I've been
let him go.
excited until Kante drops dead on the pitch. Is that what we want? That's not what we want.
No, I'm sorry, but this could be a better formation than what we've seen ever. Like, because give me something else better than what we're doing right now. Because what we're doing right now clearly isn't working. So if it's clearly not working, what's the risk in taking a risk? Like, a risk is better than doing what we're doing now. 4-3-3, working till it doesn't work anymore. 2-3-1. This
Okay,
is not work. None of this is working.
Can I ask a question to you guys? So with this 4-3-3, is your problem the formation or is it how it's being coached? Because I don't think the 4-3-3 is a bad formation at all. I quite like it.
Okay, let's go back to that. Let's go back to that.
It's probably one of my favorite formations to watch in football.
Go back to
I love a good counter-attack inside as well.
For this Chelsea team, it's not right.
We don't counter-attack.
No,
we don't.
I know that we
Yeah,
don't.
exactly.
We
We don't even attack.
I'm talking about we don't attack. I'm talking about the
Come on, Mount.
formation.
Get in here, Mount. Go on, Mason.
Oh, nah. Oh, no.
Go
Get
on,
this
Mason.
man off my pitch. Get this
I'm
man
putting
off
Mason
my-
in. I'm backing
My
him.
question
He's my
is-
boy. I'm backing my boy. Go on, Mason.
Do you know what? If we actually counter-attacked and we actually attacked, I wouldn't particularly have an issue. But we do none of this, and for this Chelsea team at this current situation, 4-3-3 is not an option. We've played it; it doesn't work. If it doesn't work
Right.
at the minute, fair be.
Yeah,
It might
start
work next season. Might work next season when we've actually
Can I
gelled
ask?
or started to attack again, but we don't.
Can I ask, why does this formation not work? I want you to
Yes.
tell me, why is Lampard not getting the best out of this formation? What is the problem? Try and pick out what you think the issue is with this formation. Against other teams.
Counter-attacking, attacking,
Don't
all
play through
those.
the middle. Every single ball goes out wide. Why is that? We do not
Because
play through the middle.
That's
Because we
player
do this,
instruction.
we do this, we do
That's
this.
bullshit.
James comes here. Havertz
And then
goes, instead of Havertz going like this, instead of Havertz with Werner and supporting him, he does this. Yeah. And then Mount is on his own doing whatever he wants to do here. Kante's up here. Look how disorganised it is. Yeah. And then you've got Pulisic or Cho on the other end. If the ball's with James and he's passed it between him, Ziyech and Havertz, that's why we get cross FC, because there's nothing there. Like, what
And
can you do? No one's can
yeah.
runs. Havertz should be doing that. Yeah, he should be there. Do you know what I mean? And that's the issue we've got, I think, with the formation at the moment. That's why I don't think it works, but that's my opinion.
Leave it just there for a second, Jem, with what Lampard's doing. People look at this, and they come and laugh at me about the three at the back that I was just proposing. You guys must be insane, fam. This is some rubbish.
But look at the gap you've got on both sides. At least, Anita, you could have cut in Anita's set play. You could have covered it. Like her formation, you could have covered it. This, look how much gapping there. It just doesn't work. We've seen it not work.
When you think about the 3-1 loss that we suffered to Arsenal, who kept on getting caught out? James and Zuma. It was that side. It was literally that side. They kept on getting caught out.
James was injured though.
But if it's not working,
And do you know why? Because this is what happened.
James is on the overlap with
This is
Ziyech.
what
I'm not
happened.
saying
Look, this is
yeah,
what
and
happened.
then he's got to run back.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say. Anita just did it.
See,
He would
the
do
thing
this. He would be here. Ziyech would be something like here. Chilwell would be here. Yeah. And then when we lose the ball, James has got to do this all the way back. And there's no one
the
coming.
one back is too much
That's
for
the
him.
problem.
There's no one to cover him.
There's the gap.
Can I just say, people think I'm mad. This is why I said 3 at the back, because at least someone is there covering James. He's the most attacking fullback out of Chilwell and James, If James is caught up there doing whatever he's doing with Ziyech and loses the ball, Aspilicueta will be there to cover him. It's not rocket science.
Yes.
So do you want our width to come from the fullbacks then? If you go into a back five?
From the wing backs, yeah.
So
Only
But
them.
Joyce, what I want,
You
right,
our
is
width
if
to
we're
come
gonna
from the wing
if
backs.
we're gonna
Yeah.
To play narrow. That's okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
I want a
I
narrow-
agree. But look,
Yeah,
where we're going wrong with it,
Oh, my back.
Where we're going wrong with it is when we do cross FC. When we do cross FC, we got Reece James. He picks the ball up, right? He links with Ziyech. He then decides to get the ball here, but then instead of Havertz being here or Mount being here where they should be, they're here and here. So you leave Giroud, Tammy, whoever it is, in the box around, and then whoever it is here, like that. You haven't got any support. There's no support from your eights. They should be in there. Then you can whip the ball in. You can't just leave one person in the box. Why do you think we always cross and moan? Because there's only ever one person in the box to aim at. Because these lot are sitting outside the box all the blooming time. And that's the issue with the 4-3-3 formation. That's why it don't work.
It's the sideways passing, like the ball's just going to the side, to the back. They're just passing it around in a little semicircle. Nothing is going forward. And even when the ball goes forward, like you said, there's one, barely two, if any, players in the box. So who are you aiming for?
Exactly, it's poor. And I don't know if it's Lampard or if it's the players and their game understanding of the formation. It could be that as well. It could be that they're not understanding the rule, which you've got to blame Lampard for, because what do they do in training the whole time? Surely they should be practicing this, shouldn't they? But I don't know. It is what it is. But that was very fun. That was very fun, actually. I enjoyed that. I think we'll do that much more, actually, moving forward as well. But going into the Fulham and Chelsea game, I want to get your predictions. We've hit 1 hour and 11 minutes. So I want to kind of get your match predictions and what you think is going to happen. I'm going to start with Charlotte. What are you predicting tomorrow, Charlotte?
2-1. If it's not 2-1, I don't want to know about this team. Like, I'm not even playing now. Like, if it's not 2-1, I'm going to be so livid. It's not even a debate. This is Fulham. I don't care that they've drawn with Spurs. That doesn't bother me. My team has to beat them. It's like a must-win game.
I hear that. I agree as well. Joyce, what's your predictions?
I mean, yeah, I agree that this is a must-win. I mean, City was a must-win game, but now this is like a must-win game.
Yeah.
I think we will win. I think, yeah, I agree, it'll be a 2-1. But yeah, we just need to win at this point. Like, Lampard's time is ticking if he doesn't start patterning the results quickly. So
fair enough. Lambs, what's your views?
2-1 Fulham, and then Frank Lampard leaves my club the next day.
You cannot be saying that. You just what you want. Do you want him? Is that because you think it's going to happen, or do you want him to lose? There's two different things.
To go, because I said it even after West Ham, that was not a 3-0 game. We all saw how unconvincing that was, and I thought things were not going to improve since then, and I was right. I want us to lose to Fulham so people can understand the dire need of the situation. Get him out.
Lambs.
You know what? I agree with Lambs a little bit that I think we might lose, but I'm trying to back my team and say that I want them to win because I think it's a must need. But I have a gut feeling we could draw with them. I feel
Can
like
I just say something?
I love my team that much that I'm willing to sacrifice these points so he can leave.
No. Lambs, what happens tomorrow if we go and win that game 4-0? What happens tomorrow if we go and win that game 4-0? What will your views be then?
I'll donate 100 quid to your channel because that ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
You heard it here, everyone. You heard it. Lamb said it.
We are not gonna beat this Fulham side. Like, maybe at the start of the season, if you said 4-0, I'll be like, yeah, probably we will. But they've changed. They've gotten better, and we have to respect them a little bit. I don't think it's gonna be an easy game, and I feel like if we're not careful, they might even edge it. They might even edge it over us. And to be honest, I'd rather that happen. So he goes.
Anita, what are your thoughts on that, and what are your predictions?
I mean, I wouldn't put any bets on Chelsea at all because it's just a bit of I don't know. I think I would say a 3-1 to Chelsea purely because of, at the end of the day, Fulham, they're not entirely a bad team as it stands right now because they have stepped up their game, etc. But on paper, like, come on, we've got to look at it this way. They're a relegation side at the minute, and Lampard's job is hanging by a thread, so he's going to have to give it all he's got. I expect him to come out guns blazing with this match, especially after that embarrassing Man City match. He has to do something to prove that he's worth the job. And with all the rumours speculating that Avram Grant is coming through to be in the coaching staff or whatever, and of course, I think someone confirmed, I think that CF Bayern guy, he confirmed that Chelsea are looking at options of Avram Grant taking over for now, and Tuchel coming into summer. There's a lot of talk going on, so he has to beat Fulham. So I'm putting my money on him beating Fulham 3-1. But if he doesn't, Lambs, we might get your wish.
Did you just say Avram Grant?
Avram Grant. I would rather Hiddink.
No, I'd rather Lampard. Not having Avram Grant here, mate.
I would have rather Lampard. I'd rather Hiddink.
All right, look.
This is just getting worse and worse. Like,
look. I am not on the vibes of Lambs. I always want my team to win. I get what she's saying in terms of she's had enough of the manager. The only way you can get rid of him is if he keeps losing games. I hear that. But I will never wish for my team to lose. Never.
By the way. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. Like, do you know what? Nothing will make me happier than us absolutely slapping them 4-0, Joe. Really and truly. And do you know what? I'll be happy about that 100 quid to you. Do you know what I mean? Because at least it was a disappointment. But
it's the disappointment of getting your hopes up and being disappointed all the time.
Yes, and I don't see it. That's why I've gotten to this point where I'm saying what I'm saying, because I can already see what everyone's going to be saying like 3 weeks down the line, like, oh my God, get him out. And I'll be like, I told you this in December. Do you know what I mean?
But I agree with that, because like the problem you have is that you'll get your hopes up that your team is win. Like, I think I want 2-1. I want us to win 2-1. I've never wanted us to win 2-1 in my whole life, more than I do right now. But in the back of my head, I'm like, we could draw this, because I don't want that disappointment of getting my hopes up that much that I'm like, yeah, it's a 2-1 win, and then just getting so pissed off that it's like a draw or they beat us, because I'm expecting the worst and I'm praying for the damn best. I want what's best for my team. I want my team to win, but in the back of my head, I do have the fact that my sensible brain is telling me you want your team to win, but there is a possibility that a large possibility that your team could lose to Fulham, because realistically, we lost to Arsenal. What were Arsenal doing? We lost to them. We've lost to Man City. Like, I don't particularly like Everton. Wolves. Like,
I actually think I'm going to throw my views in it. I want Chelsea to win. Obviously, I want us to turn it around. I ain't going to lie. I do want us to turn it around. And for me, whether it's Lampard, whoever it is, I'll always back them. And for me, I just want us to win the game. So I'm going to say 2-0. I think it's going to be 2-0. I think it's going to be tight. If Timo Werner starts, I want Timo Werner to score. If Havertz starts, I want Havertz to score. I want him to continue. I want him to continue just growing and building up some confidence, because we've really struggled in the last couple of games. So for me, I just want to see us kick on. You know what I mean? I really want to see us kick back on. And for me, from now to the end of January, I feel like we have to go and win. We have to get maximum points. Man United are 10 points clear of us. Before we go, I forgot about this actually. Let me just quickly show you this actually, because this is not good enough.
Let's show the Premier League table, please.
So, Manchester United.
I'm done.
Man United, 36 points. Liverpool, 33 points. Do you want to see where Chelsea is? Look, we're scrolling down. We're getting there, people.
26 points.
There we go. Look. 26 points. We're 10 points behind them.
Like,
we're 10 points behind them. But on the bright side, wait. On the bright side, we're 6 points off second. So if Man United beat Liverpool, we're only 3 points behind them from second. And that's the people saying, "Oh, we're not going to get Champions League." We're still in with that. But if we lose, and then Arsenal, West Ham, everyone else wins around us, we go 11th. We go next to Leeds. We can sit here where Arsenal are.
Not my sister.
Like, this isn't even like That's my worst nightmare. That's like the devil coming up and trying to drag me down to hell. I don't want that. Like, no, please, no. Keep that away from me. Like, going under 10, no, thank you. We don't go into double figures. We stay and like go up. We're supposed to be going up, not going down. I don't want to go down.
After we lost to
Well,
Arsenal,
if it goes down, then
I didn't sleep that night
Go on
because I genuinely couldn't believe it. I genuinely couldn't believe
Literally.
it. I had nightmares, genuine nightmares. I woke up the next day and I was like, did that happen? Did that actually happen? Checked my phone. Yep. You lost 3-1 to Arsenal. I was like, wow. And to think, literally, like you said, Jem, the table's turned and they climb above us. And no, he has to go. He has to go. After spending what you spent this summer, get out of it.
I don't think he's going to be going anywhere. If he wins tomorrow, he's not going anywhere. I don't think if he does, I honestly think they're giving him to the end of the season. I know you don't want to hear this, but I actually think they're saying to him, end of the season. It is what it is. Let's just see what happens. But it is what it is. Hopefully we win.
Now I know what they feel like. It hurts.
Strip Bear says, smash the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't, please. She's right. I appreciate that. Strip Bear, I want to get you on soon as well, yeah? So you can mix with the ladies. She's Scottish, actually. We talk on Twitter and that. So yeah, it'd be nice to get her on.
Yes. Please.
Other than that, ladies, thank you very, very much for coming on. It's been an hour and 21. It's been actually quite enjoyable, isn't it? It's actually been quite a good little show, to be fair. We've gone through formations. We've spoke about Cho. We've spoken about Mount as usual. We've actually not spoken about Lampard too much today. Maybe a little bit at the end, but not as much this time. So, yeah. Charlotte, shout out your socials. You've also got your own little channel now. You know, your show, shall I say. You've got your own show now. So let everyone know where you are.
So you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Charlotte_strong. And you can find me on Thursdays at 7 p.m. on Football United TV with Charles Classic Corner. So check out that.
Get following, people. Get following. I'm on there on, is it Thursday? Is that what you're bringing me on with?
And I'll eventually want to get all you girls on here as well.
Yeah, get them on. Definitely. Joyce, where can we find you?
So I'm at ELJoyce_ on like all social media platforms. Nice and easy. Follow me.
Follow her. Definitely get following, people. Definitely get following. Lambs?
At Lamia Ahmed on Instagram. Here on the Chelsea Show, GNA TV, Chelsea Lady Show, Midnight Vibe Show on the Football Terrace, Monster CFC's show for Chelsea live streams, and Bits and Bob Show for our political racism football show.
Interesting. Why? I'll ask you a question. Why have you not got Twitter?
Everyone keeps telling me this. Oh, we'll make it eventually. Do you know what? Like, even Instagram I find is too much sometimes. So if I had Twitter, then oh my God, I'd probably just have a mental breakdown. So I will get around to doing it. But at the moment, I just feel like I'm not really missing out on anything. So I'm informed of everything anyway. So
That's true. There's a lot of trolls on there. A lot of people. Anita knows herself. It's a lot of idiots on there at the moment, causing disputes and arguing, and it's quite a horrible place to be on at the moment. You have your good, like your own community with people that are nice, and you can have debates, but you always get the dickheads on there that just, are out of line, whatever. But yeah, Anita, where can we find you?
You can find me at Flown_ on all my platforms. You can find me on Gold Diggers UK. You can find me on the Football Terrace. And yeah, that's about it. You can find me there. I can't even say specific times we're on. Like it's just vibes, isn't it?
Just vibes. Anita, when we doing the next Chelsea show? Because it's been a very long time.
Vibes.
Is it vibes?
Vibes. I don't know.
When we win.
When we win, that's what. Yeah. Don't say that because they're going to think we're just bottling it again. That's what all the terrace supporters say. The viewers, they're like, the Chelsea fans are bottling it. They never come on when they lose. Blah 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 blah.
You know what?
Where's Jim? Where's Jim? Where's Monster? Where's Anita? Where are they? Where?
This week, all I've had is 21.
I'm tired. They've only been top for 3 days and they're talking about 21. Calm down.
This is the first time they've been top since 2012.
How the mighty has fallen, eh? They get excited over one little like moment. It's mad, isn't it, when you think like that? Man United, Manchester United.
Someone said switch the last two the last two letters in 2012, and it says 21. I'm turning 21 tomorrow. 21 is coming.
I'm so over them.
It's boring, and look, they will get. I keep saying it. It will come to them. They're going to have their moment. I'm telling you, they're not going to be out there for long. I've got a feel. I mean, look, I think they'll be Champions League contenders, but I don't think they're going to win the league, honestly. But we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. In terms of me, Ads, and Sophia, you can find us in the description below. Our links to our Twitters are there. And then we've got the Discord channel as well. So the link's there as well. If you want to join us and have a chat on there, do so. But ladies, I appreciate your time. As always, I have fun on this show. We always seem to have a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. And it's nice actually getting views from the ladies, because obviously for me, it's like I'm always mixing with the boys. We're always talking about the same bullshit. We hate Lampard, blah, blah, blah. With views, it's completely the opposite. Yes, we talk about Lampard and this, that, and the other, but it's I feel like you have different views about things, and it's nice to hear the other side, that they say. And they say women are cleverer than men, don't they, as well? Which I don't know how true that is, but yeah, it's anyway. People, thank you for tuning in. Take care. This is GNA TV, and we will see you again very, very soon. Peace.
It's like it's playtime when it's free time. In the dance, they have to take a glance, we stepping out the room.